Hi, everyone. It's Victoria Field with my amazing co-organizers, Dr. Angela Poff and Dr. Dominic D'Agostino. Hey, guys. It's so great to see you back live.
Hello.
And great to see
Well,
you both.
yeah, we have a lot to discuss today. And for those of you just tuning in, definitely ask your questions below because we want to make sure we answer those questions. And we're going to be covering some interesting topics today. First, we want to bring you up to speed on all the exciting things going on at Metabolic Health Summit. First things first, for those who have not snagged your early bird tickets, which we don't have very many left, those are going to be available until February 28th. Our deadline for early bird pricing is extended. You can save nearly like almost $100 on tickets if you sign up for our newsletter as well. So definitely don't miss out on that. MetabolicHealthSummit.com to learn a little bit more about our scientific conference and who's coming to Santa Barbara, which we're going to talk about here in just a minute. But we've got some big announcements to make that we've put up on social. And I think the most important that we'll kind of kick off is our David Shevok Pioneer Award, our third annual. We just announced our recipient, who is such a special lady and who is going to be, it's such an honor to be able to continue to, use this award in a way that continues Dave's legacy and really honors that, but at the same time, really showcases some incredible people and pioneers in this space. So Angela, do you want to share who our honoree is this year?
Yeah, absolutely. As Victoria said, this is a really special award to us personally. And we are just really, really honored to be able to present this award to Dr. Sarah Hallberg this year. So she's the third annual recipient of our David Shevok Pioneer Award. This is something that we give out every year at the annual gala dinner at Metabolic Health Summit. And it's something that we spend a lot of time thinking about innovators and pioneers in this space, people who have made a true significant contribution to the research and the application of metabolic health and therapies. And, honestly, the contributions that Dr. Hallberg has made to this field is innumerable. She is the medical director at Virta Health. Of course, many of you will know about Virta, the first clinically proven treatment to safely and sustainably reverse type 2 diabetes without medication or surgery. It wasn't very long ago that this kind of terminology wasn't even in the vocabulary about diabetes. It was viewed purely as a progressive condition that you could not reverse. And the work that Dr. Hallberg and Virta have been proving that is not true. Virta has literally transformed diabetes care as we know it today under her guidance. She had also founded Indiana University's medically supervised weight loss program, and she serves as an adjunct clinical professor of medicine there. Her list of credentials is literally a mile long. She's board certified in internal medicine, obesity medicine, lipidology. She's a certified registered clinical exercise physiologist. She serves as the scientific council director of the Nutrition Coalition. This is a really incredible nonprofit that aims to educate public and policymakers about the need to strengthen national nutrition policy so that we make sure it's actually founded upon a comprehensive body of conclusive science. And in areas where we don't have that conclusive science, they seek to encourage the research that's needed to get there. She has an incredible TEDx talk called Reversing Type 2 Diabetes Starts with Ignoring the Guidelines. It's been viewed more than 8 million times. And what I think is really cool about this TED Talk is anytime you see mention of it online, it's always accompanied by floods of comments with individuals saying that it literally saved their lives. And that's just a testament to Dr. Hallberg and the impact that she has had on this space and the people in it. And what's really cool is over the past few years, Dr. Hallberg has also emerged as a very vocal supporter and an advocate for addressing healthcare inequality. She believes that access to cutting-edge medicine should be an option for everyone, not just the wealthy or the privileged. These are lessons that have become particularly clear to her over the past few years during her journey as a terminal cancer patient herself. But despite that difficult situation, she's used her incredibly powerful platform to amplify this message and spread awareness about the barriers of socioeconomic status, minority discrimination, and implicit bias that plague the healthcare system. So, we at MHS truly believe that the field of metabolic health and medicine as a whole would not be where it is today without Dr. Sarah Hallberg. And we're just so thankful for her. And we're really proud to have her as our third annual recipient of this award.
Absolutely. She is just blazing the trail. She's a trailblazer. Yeah. She's an innovator. She's honestly served as a huge personal inspiration to me. And I know the two of you and all of our work at Metabolic Health Summit. So it's such an honor to be able to present her with this award. And we were just so grateful to know her personally, but also for her important work in this field, because you're right, it wouldn't be the same without her. And so that's a really exciting announcement that we just made on social. So if you want to check out a little bit more about Dr. Hallberg, certainly take a look at that post that we made about her background. And hopefully you can all join us as we honor her at our gala dinner on May 7th, which is Saturday night during MHS, which will be a lot of fun. So we also made another announcement involving our International Scientific Poster Session that's hosted by Keto Mojo that we're really excited to kick off, because this is a really unique area where honestly, researchers from around the world come to showcase their unpublished research. You get to just make such incredible connections, and collaborations in academia really come out of that, which is really exciting. It's such an important piece of Metabolic Health Summit. And thanks to our partners at Keto Nutrition and Ketone Technologies, we have some amazing awards that are going to be given out that you can apply for if you're a junior scientist. So Dom, do you want to share a little bit more about what you guys are offering on that front?
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Victoria. Yeah, Keto Nutrition and Ketone Technologies will be offering an educational and a travel award, respectively. Education under Keto Nutrition and travel under Ketone Technologies. It's a $500 prize, and plus other surprise prizes included will be provided to the winner of each award, along with tickets to the Metabolic Health Summit 2022, and which will be reimbursed if you've already purchased your tickets. So be sure to apply. Go to the website. You need to apply and submit an abstract for the poster presentation. March 18th is the date for that, and we are very thankful for Keto Mojo sponsoring this. We are doing research now using the Keto Mojo device. So, and you'll probably see other research posters there using Keto Mojo. So we are just very lucky and honored to be able to provide these awards to hopefully what'll be a full poster session. So everybody, please check that out and apply.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you guys for those amazing awards. I think that it's such a great incentive for something that's so critical for especially budding scientists in this space, right? Where they have an opportunity to present scientific data. They have an opportunity to mingle and network with other researchers that maybe can sort of foster collaboration between them. So you two being scientists can speak much, much more clearly about this than I can, but it's honestly one of the most inspiring things throughout the course of Metabolic Health Summit, in general, that we've had every year, because we are a scientific conference. Such a critical piece of that. But it's so important as well. So we're excited to kick this off. So as Dom mentioned, March 18th is the deadline to submit an abstract for the poster session. And then award winners are going to be, you have to submit to apply. And this is all on our website. So if you go to our website, metabolichealthsummit.com, click on the abstract section, you'll be able to find out how to apply or how to submit your abstract, and then how to apply for these awards as well, because they have two different deadlines. And it's going to be really fun to kick this off with everybody and Keto Mojo as well, because you're right, they're involved in a lot of clinical trials and things going on in the space. So it'll be fun to see research from around the world. But let's talk a little bit about some of our speakers. We have such an incredible lineup that is growing as we speak. And I know we keep mentioning that there's going to be more announced soon, and there will be more announced soon, even beyond what we've got right here. But I want to bring up, we're going to be hosting a variety of sessions that we typically do at Metabolic Health Summit, involving cancer, involving neurological disorders, involving, metabolic health and metabolic syndrome, human optimization, you name it. But we're also going to be including a COVID section this year. specifically dedicated to, well, all things COVID and metabolic health. So, Dom, do you want to share one of our newest speakers that we've just announced and some of their research specifically involving HBOT? That researcher's name is Dr. Peter Lindholm, and I'd love for you to give a little bit of a background on him.
Yeah, I just found out about this from you. So I was excited to find out that Peter Lindholm who's an world-renowned expert on hyperbaric oxygen therapy and hyperbaric environments as it pertains to diving. So the world that I came from. I don't have his bio at my fingertips, but I know Dr. Lindholm is an MD, PhD at USD. It's a lot of letters there. So MD, PhD. And so he's at University of San Diego, and he did research at the Karolinska Institute. I believe he's researched and worked at Stanford, and has a very impressive academic and clinical background. And has been an authority on hyperbaric oxygen therapy and diving physiology. And he will be delving into the topic that is super important, the use of hyperbaric oxygen therapy for acute symptoms associated with COVID and also long COVID. So a very important topic and an emerging field of research. So I'm super excited to that he's agreed to come and present and on this topic, and very excited to have him here.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's going to be interesting to kind of cover both acute and post COVID and the potential there for HBOT, I think, especially as somebody who's personally gone through the post COVID stuff. And I know you, Dom, as well, have gone through COVID itself. So obviously it's relevant to a lot of people. So I think it'll be really interesting for sure. We also have some really great speakers who are going to be sharing sort of a patient perspective. The one thing that's pretty unique about Metabolic Health Summit is we try to finish up our symposiums where we take a deep dive into the science and application of metabolic-based therapies, but also offer the perspective of somebody who's actually walked through it, because I think that's so important, as I know you two agree, in really kind of bringing things full circle. And so we just announced a couple of speakers, Miles Sullivan, who was actually diagnosed with a brain tumor and developed focal seizures, but he's now 2 years seizures free after using ketogenic metabolic therapy. And his story is so inspiring. I'm really looking forward to him sharing his perspective and what he's kind of been through to get to where he is today using metabolic therapy. And then there's Kristen Kehoe, and she actually has been using metabolic therapy alongside working with Dr. Chris Palmer, who is I guess you could call him a metabolic psychiatrist. He's out of Harvard. He's doing incredible work in the space. And she has actually, over the last 3 years, lost 100 pounds. She's reduced her medication in half and eliminated her psychotic symptoms by using ketogenic metabolic therapy alongside standard of care, which is pretty incredible. And so she's going to be really focusing on talking about there's hope after being diagnosed with, a mental health condition. And I think that's going to be a really, really interesting and unique conversation, because Dr. Palmer is going to be involved in that as well. And I think it's really going to be eye-opening to kind of dive into that. And the field of metabolic psychiatry is really exploding right now. So that'll be really a special talk as well. But let's dive into some interesting areas of research and maybe personal experiments in the mix, and talk a little bit about, we just recently posted about a really interesting paper that recently came out in honor of World Cancer Day, which was not too long ago. And it involves the use of the ketogenic diet and its sort of potential in enhancing anti-cancer effects as it relates specifically to the immune system. So Angela, do you want to cover a little bit about that paper? It was really fascinating and got a lot of great feedback online as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a preclinical study. So cell-based and animal-based models of, I think it was a renal cell cancer. And they were looking at something called the PD-1 blockade. So PD-1 is a protein that's found on immune T cells. And when it's expressed, it can bind to PD-L1, which is expressed on other cell types, myeloid cells. And this can cause an immune suppression. So it basically dampens the immune response. And now this is a normal part of our physiology. It's something you want to be able to dampen the immune response when you need to. But tumors, as they often do, kind of take advantage of this situation and will often overexpress and overactivate this PD-1 blockade, because it effectively kind of prevents the T cells from appropriately detecting and killing those cancer cells. So it's basically a mechanism that tumors use to evade immune detection and annihilation. And so in this study, they actually looked at ketones, both supplemental ketones and ketogenic diet, and found that the primary ketone, beta hydroxybutyrate, reduced expression of PD-1 on the myeloid cells, but it didn't affect the proliferation of some of the other important immune cells that they were looking at. So this actually lessened that immunosuppressive effect of the PD-1 blockade, allowing the T cells to function normally and actually attack and neutralize the cancer cells. This is really cool. It seemed to be a ketone-mediated effect, both in using a ketogenic diet in the animals, but also using just oral ketone supplementation. And it was also associated with a reduced tumor growth. So you saw an enhanced anti-tumor immunity that also translated to slower tumor growth, which is pretty cool. They also showed that using ketosis to activate this activate the immune response in this way, enhance the outcome in response to standard of care therapy as well. And really interestingly, they showed that an intermittent supplementation of ketones, 1 week on, 1 week off, was actually resulted in a better prognosis than continuous supplementation. So these are kind of cool areas of research that provide a lot of new insight, but also a lot of new questions, which is why I think science is always fun. You find out one thing and then you come up with 10 other things that you want to test after you see those results. So this is a really cool paper, got a lot of interest and really showed a sophisticated way that ketogenic diet might play a role as a cancer therapy. And this is far, beyond the glucose lowering story that often gets told when people are talking about a ketogenic diet for cancer. That's really just scratching the surface of this whole area of research, in my opinion. So it was cool to see this work coming out.
Yeah, it's really fascinating. And like you said, it's just the tip of the iceberg is the whole sort of thought process on lowering glucose with cancer specifically. I mean, this field, I would say where metabolic-based therapies sit with cancer and neurological health are two of the most fascinating areas that are happening right now in the research space. And we'll be kind of diving into that at Metabolic Health Summit. But in the interim, we're posting really interesting research like this on our social media channels. So thanks for taking a dive into that, Angela. And Dom, you've been involved in your own self-experimentation, which is always so many people love to follow along with because it's really fascinating. And while sort of anecdotal, it really opens a unique conversation around many different topics. You want to share what you've been up to personally?
Yeah, sure. Posted a little bit about it. Some of the stuff that I'm doing. Jilla brought a waffle maker, and it just popped into my mind. I've been experimenting with ketogenic waffles, and that's a whole nother. It's been my new obsession for the last 48 hours or so. But on a more scientific note,
chaffles are scientific. That's fine. Waffles and chaffles are scientific.
It's amazing. Like, we travel and sometimes go to these hotels where you can make your own waffles. Like in the morning, you pour the sugary syrup in and make it. But it's so easy to make a ketogenic batter and to make waffles. And the waffles could be hamburger buns. Or I didn't realize how easy and fun it is. So I've been invigorated on.
You're giving me a mental picture of Dom, like in the Holiday Inn, like in the breakfast section, like doing his own science experiment.
Yeah. That batter always scares me, but you can make so many different, formulations. Actually, I've been mixing keto brains into the egg batter formulations and making waffles with the keto brain supplement that I made last night. But on a more scientific note, I've been super interested, a short list of biomarkers, maybe about a half dozen, one of them uric acid. So I became increasingly interested in this after reading about it more with Dr. David Perlmutter's book, Drop Acid, catchy name. So he really delves into the science and the clinical utility of uric acid as an important cardiometabolic biomarker. So I've been reading the book, implementing some of the dietary advice, and with a commercial meter, I've been measuring my uric acid levels in response to some dietary changes of switching out certain foods, and have been able to significantly lower my uric acid levels, which is really encouraging to see that. So I'd encourage everybody to check out his book, Drop Acid, and the science in it is really linked with metabolic health. So that's one, thing I've been working on. Also,
Really
after
interesting.
listening to many hours of Rhonda Patrick podcast and Peter Attia's podcast, did a great AMA on sauna and the benefits of, I guess we would call mild hyperthermia.
Mhm.
So I've been kind of experimenting using a thermometer to measure core temperature and increasing my core temperature to about like 101, 102. I was kind of doing this like back when I had COVID, thinking, just kind of give myself a little bit of fever to kick the bug, which seemed to help. But anyway, by doing this, I have a kind of a modified spa thing that I use instead of a sauna. But elevating my body temperature, I've noticed a few things on blood glucose and also my blood pressure. So a sustained reduction in blood pressure, which is kind of very interesting. So I've been doing like sauna or hot tub, and then jump into the pool. It's very cold here in Florida. Believe it or not, we're getting into the 30s. So
The pool is the best place for an ice bath, by the way. I can't say that I've done it in the pool yet. I just do the cold showers, but my husband will jump in our pool and it looks like torture. So power to you. That. Yeah.
Well, it's not super cold. We actually do have a pool heater, but I turn it down, but I run the spa and get super hot and then jump and go back and forth. And the science behind, sauna therapy or hyperthermia is very strong. And I've been also, experimenting a lot with measuring my blood pressure under different conditions throughout the day and see a very pronounced decrease in blood pressure. So yeah, it's another experiment. I encourage people to read up on the science of sauna.
Absolutely.
It's pretty interesting.
Similar effects to, a cardiovascular workout and whatnot. I mean, the science is really fascinating where it's headed with that. And if you can get similar benefits that you might get to exercise by just sitting in a hot, room, then I think a lot of people are in for some good benefits, which is great. And I think one of our team members, Christy, is doing it right. I don't know if you saw, she just posted where she hopped in her sauna and then out in the snow, and she's in Canada. So I think she wins the competition here for us. Yeah. But no, there's so many benefits that come along with that. And it's really interesting. So you have to keep posting about what you find as you continue to do that self-experimentation. And especially you'll have to update us on the waffles, because that's the most important thing here. I'd like to hear more about. Right. Awesome. Well, thank you guys for hopping on to do a little chat around Metabolic Health Summit and some of the latest science. If you watching have any questions, feel free to comment below, because we're going to be doing these lives much more frequently as we head into the final weeks leading into Metabolic Health Summit. Hard to believe we're only like 2 months, 3 months out. Like there's no time left at all. And we will sell out. So if you don't have your tickets yet, metabolichealthsummit.com. You can get great pricing all the way through February 28th. So don't miss out on that. And we'll be back here live soon. So thank you guys so much for hopping on. And actually, I'll look forward to seeing you actually in Santa Barbara next. That's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah. Thanks for hopping on, guys. And we'll see you all soon.
Great to see you. See you soon.